So about a month or so ago, I sat down with a group of buddies to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. And immediately after watching the movie, I would begin writing the script for what would become my favorite video of all time, that being my short review on K-pop Demon Hunters. And I thought that was going to be the end of everything. I watched the movie, I made a video on it, that's it, it's done. And then this song happened. When I first heard Golden, I was just blown away by it. It is such an amazing song. EJ, the singer for Rumi, is able to hit these high notes that I genuinely didn't think humans were capable of hitting. And the fact that all of you who have heard the song know exactly what note I'm talking about is a testament to how crazy of a note it really is. The chorus is so unbelievably majestic that I literally get goosebumps every time I think about it and hear it. The instrumentals are quite honestly fire. The lyrics are amazing for the movie and fit it so well. I've also watched multiple vocal coaches react to the song, and pretty much every time their reaction is, this is literally one of the craziest songs ever made. Like, that's always their reaction.
Wow.
It's just a masterpiece. And so when it kind of dawned on me how much I actually like this song, a very annoying possibility began to take place. Oh no, do I like K-pop? Now, you all don't know me or who I am, so let me introduce you to my personal music tastes. My favorite song of all time is Orange Juice by Noah Kahan. My next two favorites are People by Half Alive and Rose Colored Stained Glass Windows by Petra. And really any of those three could take the spot as my favorite, but as of right now, Orange Juice is in the lead for me. And those of you who know those songs, and especially Orange Juice, know that OJ and Golden could not be any more different. OJ is very quiet and lyrical. It's meant to be telling the story of trauma and how two different people can react differently to it. Noah Kahan is a beast with the mic. The instrumentals are beautiful, especially the guitar. It's just so pretty. Please listen to it, honestly, after this video. I want to know if other people like it as much as I do. But I tell you this to let you know that my musical preferences for a while now have pretty much been indie or rock, and I really haven't branched out that much from those two central genres. And for a while now, I've avoided American pop music pretty much harder than league players avoid showers. And K-pop has pretty much always been something that I've just never entertained, because my avoidance of American pop has kind of led me to believe that all kind of pop music can be lumped into that category. Like, it's just not for me. I have in the past listened to maybe 3 K-pop songs. I know Dynamite by BTS, I know Butter by BTS, and Gangnam Style by Psy. Or is it PSY? It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's not like I thought K-pop was bad necessarily. It's just because I avoided American pop, like, I probably wouldn't like that either. So we get back to the topic at hand. K-pop Demon Hunters. If you're watching this video around when it's planned to come out, then you have no doubt heard about this movie. It has been top 10 on Netflix's movie list for about a month now, and it was number 1 for about a week or so. This movie was and still is huge in the US. And just to hammer this point home for you, according to BBC, Your Idol, a song sung in the movie, topped the US Spotify charts, making the Saja Boys, the band in the movie, the highest charting male K-pop group in US Spotify history, surpassing Kings of K-pop BTS. And Golden, another song in the film, hit number 2 on the chart, surpassing Blackpink as the highest charting female K-pop group. That means in under a month, 2 fictional K-pop bands from a Sony animated film topped the highest K-pop groups ever in the US. That's not just a whatever thing. That is a brutal dethroning of K-pop royalty by, I'll remind you, fictional bands. Now, here's the thing. The old me would want to say that the songs aren't that good, that they're overhyped or whatever. I can't do that. These songs deserve all the praise that they are getting. I already talked about Golden, but Your Idol is so unbelievably fire. The lyrics are so devilish and fit the scene. The singers absolutely crush it with all the falsetto-y stuff that they do. I love the instrumentals, especially the snare cross stick combo. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the background thing with the ka, like it's really fun. The bridge with the 4 to the floor leading into the final chorus is just so mwah. It's just beautiful. And said chorus, bro, is like, it's just so badass. It's so awesome. Lyrically, tonally, instrumentally, whatever you want to say, the chorus checks all the boxes. It's so good. If you didn't leave the movie singing, "Can I get the mic a little higher?" Like, I don't understand you, bro. And overall, the song is just amazing, and I really can't gush about it enough. Oh no. Do I like K-pop? No, it can't be. I've avoided all types of pop my entire life, and now I'm singing along to Soda Pop in the car? The song has pop in the name! So after watching the movie and listening to the playlist more times than I care to admit, I thought to myself, is K-pop actually good? So I talked with my friend who I knew listened to K-pop, and I asked him, hey, do you have any K-pop recommendations for me? And once he was done laughing at me for a good 30 minutes, he sent me a few songs to listen to. The first artist he sent me was JUNNY, or JUNNY. I'm really sorry. And once I swallowed my indie rock elitism, I opened up the Blanc album and listened to it, and kind of loved it. I don't think you understand how crazy this is for me. I listened to a K-pop album and I liked it. I wanted to pop in here for a second and just tell you, I'm about to be talking about a few K-pop artists that I know absolutely nothing about. So if I'm talking about someone and I'm saying, man, this song is so good, or I love this artist, and if that artist has said or done something crazy, I'm appreciating the art, not the artist in that case, okay? I know none of these artists personally, obviously. Okay, we're good. Awesome. Now, there are a few things I noticed while listening to this artist in particular. Number one, the instrumentals. I'm talking drums, guitar, synth, whatever. They're all very basic, but incredibly catchy. And basic is absolutely not a bad thing. I'm not saying generic or lame. I'm saying simple. Stuff that you could do pretty easily, and somehow it just gets stuck in your mind, and it's really fun. Like, the melodies are all very simple, or the drums are all just pretty much trap beats, which, not complaining, very catchy. Number two, the mix of Korean and English is so pleasing to the ears. It took me until now to realize that I really haven't listened to music from other languages up until now. A while ago, I did listen to Stromae, which is French, and I also did listen to Despacito, and that was like the thing to listen to. But as I was listening to JUNNY, I really did realize, like, other languages are pretty beautiful. The way he just sings in Korean is so pretty, and the way he also weaves in like a little English every once in a while just makes the music very special. The third thing I noticed is that this music is incredibly upbeat. American music, especially indie music, is often very sad if you read between the lines, and the instrumentals often accompany that with some more quiet tones, which often make the music kind of sad to listen to. But this album, with the slight exception of Boyhood, was pretty much all happy, cheery, upbeat, and I never felt myself feeling down while listening to this music. And sure, a layer of that could be the language barrier. Like, JUNNY could be talking about something really sad here and I would have no idea, but it's more the way the music is made. It feels like it's radiating with happiness. I really like Obvious from this album. The electric guitar, or whatever instrument that is just like a really fun pulse to the song that just like forces your body to react by dancing along to it. The other day it came on when I was working out, and it was genuinely probably the best workout I've ever had in my entire life, because it's just such a hype song. And JUNNY is probably one of the biggest artists right now where if I see his song on my playlist, I just think, yeah, it's go time. Like, let's do it. But let's move on to the next artist I was sent, that being LeeHi. And to be honest, while I haven't listened to a lot of what she has to offer, I will say the first time I listened to her music, I was like, yeah, maybe I do like K-pop. LeeHi shares a lot of similarities to JUNNY, especially in the instrumentals, like the drums or synth. They sound very similar, and I like that a lot. It gives you a lot of boosts of energy while listening to her music, and it really hypes you up. But her songs do have a lot more focus on what sounds like a piano or keyboard, and it allows for some really pretty melodies. And a lot of the times, some of her songs go pretty quiet, which is not a very common thing for K-pop, as I've learned, and it's very pretty. Sure, many of her songs are very hype, like get up and dance kind of thing, but like Only, for example, starts out pretty intimate and quiet before building to a bigger chorus. And another thing I noticed, LeeHi, believe it or not, really knows how to sing. Like, in general, the vocals for her songs are just very pleasing. They're very impressive, and I really enjoyed listening to her sound. Again, what is she singing? No clue. But overall, her singing is very angelic, very beautiful, and just very nice to listen to. And that's kind of how I just feel about her music in general. Very auditorially pleasing, overall well put together and mixed, pretty singing voice, just a really good artist that I liked a lot. And I think for my introduction to K-pop, I think K-pop Demon Hunters and these two solo independent artists are a really good starting point. Mainly because K-pop Demon Hunters, yes, it is K-pop. There is a lot of Korean in there, but it is for an American audience. So obviously it's a lot more English, and the movie itself is in English, of course. So because of that, I'm able to get a good vibe of what K-pop sounds like, but then listening to these two artists, which are a little bit more quiet, maybe less popular, it allows for a good transition into the more popular artists, because I don't think if I had gone directly to like the next artist I'll listen to, I don't know if I would have been as receptive to it if I hadn't had K-pop Demon Hunters and then JUNNY and then LeeHi. Like that progression I think was pretty good for me. As we'll learn, I do really like the bigger groups, but I think these two solo independent artists are a lot more personal and still very, very fun. But let's get to those bigger groups, shall we? The third artist I decided to listen to was one that was repped hard by K-pop Demon Hunters. That, of course, being TWICE. It was kind of funny going from these two independent artists to one of the biggest girl K-pop groups in the world. Now, because of the movie, I did know TWICE from two songs, Strategy and their version of Takedown. Strategy, I think, is more emblematic of what their sound is. And I'll be honest, the first time I listened to it, didn't like it at all. Really didn't like it. But just like Soda Pop, when I listened to it a second time, I did really, really like it. So I decided of my own accord to listen to TWICE, and Apple Music describes their songs as sassy cheerleader chant verses and spirited choruses to upbeat electro pop. And yeah, couldn't have put it better myself. And I'll admit it, TWICE is really good. I think their popularity is absolutely deserved. I really enjoyed listening to their stuff overall. Their songs are really catchy and upbeat, and they're perfect for getting you hyped up for your 9 to 5. All of the singers are really talented, and I did enjoy listening to all 9 of them? Goodness. Their instrumentals are definitely very electronic, so if you're into that, you'll probably like their sound a lot more. And while I'm not the biggest techno fan, I definitely think it's really good, and I definitely did enjoy listening to it. TWICE also, compared to JUNNY and LeeHi, their songs are definitely a higher percentage of English, and some of their songs too are English versions of their Korean songs. So that I think makes a lot of their songs a lot more approachable, especially to maybe an American audience who only speaks English, like me. Now, is that better or worse? No. I definitely do enjoy listening to Korean, especially in K-pop. I think it sounds really nice. But also it's fun to be able to actually sing along, you know? So, you know, pros and cons to both. Also, one thing I noticed with their songs is they really like to yell out their name like a lot, which TWICE is a pretty cool name, so slay queens. One song I actually enjoyed listening to a lot more than I expected was Talk That Talk. The chorus is just so fun. It's incredibly infectious. I also really liked the build in the middle. It's a really good energy booster, and I liked listening to it a lot. And all in all, I enjoyed myself with TWICE's music a lot. All of their songs are incredibly lively, and I definitely recommend you check them out. And I will say this, for all the bands I listened to for this accidental experiment, I definitely added TWICE the most to my playlist. That's not to put the other bands down, that's to prop up TWICE. I think their music is really good. So because of that, high praise for this band in particular. Now, following TWICE, we have another very, very popular girl K-pop group, that being Blackpink. Now, Blackpink definitely has some similarities to the bands we've already talked about. Electronic instrumentals with very simple yet catchy beats, very fun and hype vocals, and I had a lot of fun listening to their sound. Blackpink is the biggest band that I'll talk about that I think has that vibe of we're badass and we know it. And that makes a lot of their songs very fierce and uplifting. I will say, I do have one complaint about this band in particular, that being their choruses. To me, a chorus should always be an explosion of sound unless you're going for a very quiet chorus, which some songs like to do. Like a lot of the time, pre-choruses or bridges are used to kind of either build the energy to a big explosion of sound or drop the energy so that that said explosion is kind of more noticeable. But here's the thing with Blackpink. A lot of their choruses feel like they're trying to be explosions of sound, but are instead very hollow. And this is not something very common to a lot of the K-pop I've listened to. Most of the time, the choruses are very full, very touched up in post to make it feel more lively. But like, I noticed this in the songs Jump and Kill This Love, where there are these big stretches where it feels like it's either building to a big chorus or there's gonna be this huge, like, yeah, let's do it kind of chorus, but then the chorus just feels kind of empty. Like, a lot of the times there's just like a very simple drum and then some other instrument, and there's nothing like in the background kind of filling it. And also a lot of the time there are no vocals, which kind of also does the same thing. It kind of drops the energy. And that's kind of annoying because to me, the chorus is the part of the song. Like, if you're humming a song, like if a song is stuck in your head, 99% of the time you're humming the chorus. Like, you're not going to be humming the bridge, for example, as much as the chorus. And for those reasons, I almost turned Blackpink off, because when I listened to the Essentials album, the first 3 songs that popped in were very hollow choruses, and I was like, okay, is this all this band is gonna be, you know? But then the song Stay happened, and this song is so unbelievably good. It starts off with a very soft golden duo of guitar, singer, but then it kind of picks up to a more snappy, upbeat kind of like, yeah, chorus, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just so, it's awesome. And then for some reason that's completely unnecessary yet all the more necessary at the same time, they pull out a harmonica. Like, it shouldn't fit, but it fits. It's good, and I'll say it, I love this song. I think it's amazing. I think it's really good. And after listening to this one, I listened to more of the Square 2 EP. And when I listened to that one, all my complaints about the chorus is pretty much just throw them out the window. Playing with Fire, Boombayah, Whistle, Acoustic are all really good songs, along with Stay, obviously. They have really good vocals, instruments, and the choruses feel very full and lively. The only exception on this EP is Whistle non-acoustic, which I think suffers with the same chorus problem that I outlined earlier. But I really loved this EP. Another highlight I wanted to give was Lovesick Girls. It's really catchy. The little, I don't know what instrument it is. It's like a little, it's like, boop. I don't know. What is that? What is that? But it's really good. The melody it plays is super fun and it adds a lot to the song. And the chorus felt the opposite of empty. It felt really, yeah. What's that mean? And with all that praise, I really enjoyed listening to this band. And while I did say the choruses are kind of weak, I think the rest of the songs are really good. The verses are really well sung. The instrumentals are great, whatever. It's just the choruses that I think are kind of a letdown comparatively. Like with Kill This Love, I think when they scream out, let's kill this love, like it's really cool. It kind of gets you hyped up, and then the chorus just, boom, drops it. So everything up until that point is awesome. The chorus is kind of let down. Everything else is great. So I'm not saying those songs are bad. I just think the choruses could use some work, but they're not watching this. What, like, who cares? Regardless of if I think the choruses are kind of let down, they're all super high quality. The singers know what they're doing. The instrumentals, I do think, are really good. It's just a really fun band to listen to. And also, they say Blackpink in your area a lot. They say that a lot. Like, it got to the point where I was like, we know who you are, okay? You're Blackpink. Everyone knows you. That's not a bad thing. I just thought I'd point it out. I do really like their vibe. They're very girl boss. They're very fun. Definitely check them out. They're great. Okay, we've been dipping our feet in the water here, but I think it's about time that we just dive right in, you know? Let's get to the big dogs themselves. That, of course, being BTS. BTS is often considered to be the most popular K-pop band worldwide. They are huge, and don't lie to yourself, you've heard a BTS song and you liked it. Like I mentioned, I actually knew a few of their songs when I was younger, and honestly, BTS still slaps. I'll say it. There is a reason Butter and Dynamite exploded like they did. Like, they are really good songs. Very catchy, incredibly cheery, very upbeat, easy to dance to, memeable. They're great. One thing I did notice when listening to BTS is that, yes, they do use very electronic and very computer-esque instrumentals, because that's just kind of the overall vibe that K-pop kind of has become. Their instrumentals, at least to me, feel a lot more alive and maybe a little bit more acoustic, which they definitely aren't. I'm not saying they are, but they definitely feel more lively and natural. Like, you can definitely tell that it's a program or an electronic thing, but it is more my style, my acoustic kind of preference. If you're into more electronic stuff, it's still very approachable. It's still very electronic, but if you're into more acoustic stuff, maybe listen to them, see if you like the instruments a little bit more. And just like the other artists, the mix of Korean with English is so cool, dude. BTS specifically is a little bit more split. Like, some of their songs are pretty much half and half Korean and English. Some of their songs are majority in English, like Dynamite, for example, and then other songs are like fully in Korean. So that, I think, makes them the most approachable band, because some of their songs are just completely, you can sing them without knowing a word of Korean, but other songs are like, if you're into listening to Korean vocals, then you can definitely listen to that. I just think that's kind of fun and pretty cool. Now, I'll say it, K-pop isn't the thing that made me realize this. Squid Game was the thing that made me realize this, but the Korean language is just really beautiful, especially when it's put into a song format. Like, it's just really nice to listen to. And like I said with JUNNY, like, integrating English into it and like allowing there to be two different languages in one song is just such a unique thing. It's just so cool that they can do that. One song highlight I do want to say is Boy With Love. Super catchy, great vocals. The chorus is just awesome, especially the way the other singer goes, oh my my my. It's a really fun song. Another thing I do want to mention is BTS is a boy band, believe it or not. So if you're familiar with the vibe of boy bands, even like American boy bands, if you're familiar with their sound, BTS will sound very similar, which is going to happen with all kind of pop. And to some people that is a problem. It's not to me. I think BTS sounds original, and I do really enjoy their sound, even if I can be like, yeah, that sounds like XYZ, like whatever. I do think they sound really good, and I do think all of the singers are really talented. I think the instrumentals are great. It doesn't have the same problem with their choruses that Blackpink had. I think all of their courses are very full, very fun, very like, let's get up and dance kind of thing. It's just a really nice band to listen to. And just like Soda Pop, their music is so catchy, dude. Like I said, there's a reason why like Dynamite, for example, exploded. Like, because it's English, like I can sing along to it and it just gets stuck in there. Like, there's nothing I can do. This band absolutely does not need the praise for me. Like, this is a universally known band. They're very beloved in like all corners of the earth, but I'll just say it, I like BTS a lot. They're fun. Definitely give them a shot if you've been kind of turned off to K-pop up until this point. They're really great. Here's the thing, I don't know where else to put this, but I will say it's kind of fun listening to BTS after listening to the Saja Boys, because it's very obvious that the Saja Boys were based off of them, so the vibes are very similar. So it's funny listening to Your Idol, which is a song about like all of humanity losing their souls to this like demon fire thing, and then listening to Butter, which is about like, it's just funny because they do have similar vibes, but they're very different, if you know what I mean. It's mainly Soda Pop that I think it kind of emulates a lot of BTS's vibe. Like, it's very similar, very catchy, very upbeat, lots of singers, you know. Now, of course, that is a good thing because I enjoy Soda Pop and I love Your Idol. So anything that's kind of similar to that, okay, so what? Why did I make an entire video about me listening to K-pop for the first time? Like, does that really warrant an entire video? Well, I just wanted to point out how all of what I just said is so awesome. The fact that a bored guy like me who has nothing better to do with his summer and has never really intently listened to K-pop can turn on a movie about K-pop and just be sucked into this rabbit hole is so cool to me. And it's for this reason that I stand firm in the idea that music is the most impactful art form. Dude, I only fluently speak English. I dabble in French, but English is pretty much it. And I don't know a word of Korean, apart from Dong Saya, but a person like me can listen to an artist on the other side of the world, not know a word of what they're saying, and somehow connect to their music. Music is universal. Music anywhere can affect people everywhere, and I think K-pop is the perfect example of that. Dude, twice performed in Chicago, and the crowds literally went wild. What? They played Takedown? Why was I not informed about this? According to Billboard.com, Golden is literally the second K-pop song in history to reach #1 in the UK charts. The first was Gangnam Style by Psy in 2012. Because of this movie, there are probably millions of people like me, people who thought, huh, how it's done is kind of a banger. maybe K-pop is better than I think. Maybe I should listen to some K-pop. And I just think it's incredible how I can go from someone so turned off by pop music in general to someone whose favorite songs playlist is slowly corrupted by K-pop bands like BTS, Twice, and Blackpink. Like, I just think that's so cool. Like, there's something about that that's just remarkable and unbelievable to me. And you know what? Let's wrap up this video with a few things I learned about K-pop while on this journey, okay? Number one, K-pop seems to be run by the slogan, just have fun with it. Like, almost every K-pop song I've listened to has been incredibly upbeat, lively, and just overall fun. That's probably the word I use the most in this video. It's just fun. Not many songs are slow or quiet, which makes this genre very exciting to listen to. I'll be honest, if you're feeling down, just throw on some K-pop and you'll feel better in no time. Number two, synthetic electronic sounds, infinitely better than acoustic sounds. In general, K-pop seems to be way more electronic, and very rarely does it sound acoustic or natural. They usually feel very touched up in post and trying to be as like perfect as possible. And this gives K-pop a very unique vibe to it, especially compared to what I'm used to. Like I mentioned Noah Kahan, his music is very raw, very sitting around a campfire with him or something is kind of what his music sounds like. But another band I think emphasizes this is Joseph, which I don't think like a lot of people know, but their sound, especially if you listen to Moonlight Mile by them, it's very like there's one guitar and then the singers, and it sounds very like a first take, less touched up in post, which is not bad. It just feels very natural. So you might be thinking me saying that touched up instrumentals or auto-tuned vocals, whatever, is very bad. Honestly, it felt like a breath of fresh air to me. Obviously, the genre isn't a monolith, so to speak. There are definitely songs that are more quiet or more acoustic, like Only by LeeHi or Boyhood by JUNNY, which such a good song, by the way. That's such a good song. Those songs, to me at least, felt a lot more acoustic, a lot more personal. But in general, K-pop to me felt more refined. Like it's not a group of people sitting around a campfire and singing to each other, or a group of people on a church retreat or something, and someone has a guitar and they're singing. No, it feels like it's made for a stage. Like they want to be put in front of an audience. They want to be belting it out. They want to go on a swing and sing in front of people and sing to the crowds. Like it's not like a personal thing. It's more like a, let's get everybody in this stadium dancing. Not better or worse. It completely depends on your vibe of music, what you like music to be. But for me personally, it was very different, and I definitely enjoyed the variety, especially compared to what I'm used to. And the last and probably biggest thing, I mentioned this a few times, Korean is a beautiful language, and listening to people sing it at you, such a cool experience. Okay, K-pop Demon Hunters, for example, the songs are primarily in English with a little bit of Korean sprinkled in. That's the opposite for most K-pop, at least the K-pop I've listened to. It seems a lot more Korean with English sprinkled in, which I think is better. Obviously, I think K-pop Demon Hunters, like that music being mostly in English, it's very fun to sing along to. It's very fun to dance to because you know what they're saying. But I think it's prettier listening to it in Korean, and then there's just a little bit of English to top it. I mean, sure, it's kind of a no-duh thing. Like, of course, K-pop, Korean pop music is going to be mostly in Korean, but it was kind of a culture shock. It was kind of like cool to be so familiar with English songs, and then suddenly the music I'm listening to is majority in Korean. And I think that's really cool. And like I mentioned, the fact that I can like music as much as I do that's in a language I can't understand a word of, that's just the magic of music. That's awesome. I love that K-pop is different from what I'm used to. I love that I'm able to step out of my usual bubble of music and venture into this world of a completely different culture and a completely different type of music. It's just so cool. Now, I'll be honest. I like K-pop, and I'm not afraid to admit that on my public YouTube channel. I enjoy K-pop. All of the bands I talked about today, I enjoy a lot of their songs, and I highlighted what I think makes them so special and what I think makes those specific bands so great. Now, do I love K-pop? I definitely love a few songs. I don't know if I love the genre as a whole. Like I said, very different. I think as I listen to it more, I think I will grow to genuinely love it. Right now, I think I am on the edge of loving it, but I don't quite love it as much as indie or rock right now. But here's the thing. I do unironically listen to K-pop now, so do with that what you will. But I think at the end of the day, we all learned it's good to step out of your comfort zone. And it's okay to like stuff that's popular. There's a reason K-pop has pop in the name. People like it, and sometimes the mass media just knows what they're talking about. I definitely think people know what they're talking about when they say the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack is fire all the way through. I think it's an amazing soundtrack. I've listened to it way more than I will admit. I've listened to it a lot. Probably an unhealthy amount. It's a really good playlist. And if they were right about K-pop Demon Hunters, and they were right about K-pop in general, because I do really like it, I wonder what else they got right.